Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be covering outside smokes, understanding them, knowing how to play off of them as CTs, what's the reactions, what the rotations, what you can do as Ts as well, but mainly we will be focusing on CTs, and then we'll see examples of other teams on how they play as Ts, like possible examples of how Ts play. Generally understanding the smokes, understanding the concepts of the smokes, what they allow you to do, why and how. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first wall of smokes that we'll be covering is the most common one and most common used one. Everywhere you're gonna see is basically those two smokes right here, with a smoke here. The most common thing that will happen, because those smokes give you the most cover on going downstairs, is people either running downstairs or walking downstairs, because again, you get the most cover out of it. Nobody can shoot you from anywhere. People can spam you, but they can't really shoot you. Uh, Generally, it can happen late or early. If people throw them late in the round, like really late, mostly it will be a fake with maybe like a guy faking downstairs. But the reaction should be the same from the CTs. The other possible scenario that it can happen is people playing off of contact, so they would generally throw this smoke. They would wait for some sort of an aggression play from the CTs, get that kill, and then throw the smokes from like a closer angle. There are different lineups from close and faraway angles, and then they will go downstairs off of that contact. So as a CT, what do you want to do when you see those smokes? As we spoke about, an Opera on Heaven, for example, can't spot. A guy here can't spot anything. So what do you do to gain that information? You would want to have a rotational player, and you want to talk about who makes the rotation. Is it the vent player? Is it the ramp player? Is it the outside player that's going mini and dropping downstairs? But you want to have a general rotation. Going downstairs here and controlling it. The guy that's dropping will need a smoke. So you will need to like have a smoke. You can jiggle that area, you can just hold that area. As soon as you see a contact, you can smoke that off and contain them. And if you contain them downstairs, then you would have another guy either in mini or heaven, containing them from people like going up again towards secret and then splitting towards A. A rule that is a must in my opinion on Nuke is having two guys upstairs on A. One guy generally the anchor that doesn't really move. If the rotation drops downstairs, then you would need your outside player to come out A and help, and then your opener can contain and pretty much contain secret, and then rotate ramp if needed pretty quickly. So generally, those are the things that happen with those smokes. Now you have another set of smokes similar to that, just lands faster. So this smoke will land pretty fast, and then you will see teams molly this and throw a smoke that lands here on top of the molly. Generally will create the same smoke wall. Because those smokes land super fast, you'd see teams running downstairs. It's not as commonly used anymore because people have found counters for that. But like if they see that molly thrown from the T's, they will just smoke this, and then the T smoke will land here. So there's a big gap and people can run down here. But generally, like if teams will do that now, they would want to run downstairs. The other possible scenario is teams doing that to fake and then going to an A split or to fast A, but it's very unlikely that you're gonna encounter that. Although like if teams know that you like to do the set of smokes and you want to change it up, then it can be really good. Generally, again, what you want to do against those set of smokes is have a fast rotation. So you would want to have someone like literally dropping down instantly, and even like mulling instantly or smoking instantly, so you can contain that secret push, and they would have to run through a smoke. So if like you smoke that pretty early, you just hold it like that, or like even from a further angle, and people have to run through a smoke to kill you, and it's pretty unlikely that they will kill you. You'll be able to get 2 or 3 kills, most of the time, most likely. Sorry, brain freeze right there. But generally that's what will happen. And as we spoke about, if there is a fast rotation, you want your outside player or your op to go and support A, so you keep your rule of 2A. Then you would have your own player, like if needed, go and support the guy lower, and you would have 2 on A, either like the opper or the outside player, and the opper can take over ramp as an example. So again, generally that's like how you would want to play against those set of smokes. Now there is another set of smokes which is mainly used to split heaven wrap, something like that, something along those lines. Not really go downstairs smoke. So it will be a garage smoke and a smoke wall that looks like this. Alright, south of this smoke wall, as you see, you don't get any cover from heaven if you want to go downstairs. So it's pretty easy for an op to op you down, so generally people don't go downstairs with that. What people will most likely do is either flash themselves through garage to get the control and heaven wrap, um, do an A split off of the smokes, like stand right here, get a flash from silo, split towards A, or split towards B as well, like have a flash towards CT, jump this angle, entry, and you'll have 3 guys ready in ramp to ramp pop, and you'll generally split. So what do you want to do against smokes like that, right? You would have your outside player, a play that outside players can do is if they see this smoke and another set of smokes will show up right after, they can jump on top of the blue box and see information, and if they see anyone right here, and then that will create a lot of info for your team that you can play off of. Generally, you would want to have someone containing that. The easiest thing is having an opera towards heaven or hell, controlling the smokes, looking at the smokes, looking at if anyone crosses. Have this angle if it's already late and they can like split. Then you would have a guy that's controlling mini, so you would have your outside player go towards this side, controlling the split right here. You would have your ramp player with his util still, controlling ramp. If they pop, if they smoke, molly, whatever. And then your operator is still in the fast rotation, and you have a guy mini that's controlling the split still, so if the smokes are over, you can still see like the heaven wrap. And you have 2 strong on A, so you have this guy and a guy towards HUD, or your other A guy. So generally that's how you want to play against those smokes. Pretty simple, but you need to understand those smokes are generally used for splits, and not really for a potential threat downstairs down towards secret. The other set of smokes is the most dangerous one, I would say. Is those 3 smokes right here. Something like that. So generally people can, obviously not with this gap, but some people can just walk straight downstairs because you still get cover from heaven. No one can spot you here. They can walk downstairs. They can split. The smokes are really close, as we just seen, right? So the smokes are close. People can split towards A. They can sit in this smoke, get a flash, and just instantly split towards A. The other split is towards mini, towards garage, sorry, and get a heaven wrap going with a smoke right here and a smoke right here, or a ramp split. So generally, pretty much all the options are available for the T's with this set of smoke, right? Mostly people would use them to either fake or for splits or for going downstairs, so everything is possible right here. You can send one guy right here to just create this presence with the smokes, and that will be enough, because unless a guy, like you have a CT, as a CT you have someone close here, or like even jumping on top of, as we spoke about on the last set of smokes, and like spotting. Generally, the guy outside can solo do everything he wants as a T, go downstairs, do his molly, do his util, fake downstairs. You can also, split A if they split A, or like even lurk outside. So how do you want to play as a CT with those set of smokes? Basically, you would want to have a rotation. The rotation doesn't have to be fast because they can't really run it down. So you're not necessarily needing someone to like do this and just run downstairs. You can walk the ladder so they don't hear the rotation. Go downstairs, control downstairs with a smoke. So you control it, contain it. You would want to have your ramp player play stronger ramp because they can still ramp up, right? You would want to have your outside player go either towards mini or towards A to control A, and you would want to have your operator control outside. Now, if your operator is in a different position, then you want to have your outside player control it, and your ramp player go towards heaven side and helping A, as we spoke about the 2A rule at all times. This is pretty much, in general, the use of the smokes that you generally see teams use, and the reactions. Now, different scenarios can cause different outcomes. Obviously, it's a hybrid game. Anything can change in an instant. People can come up with something new, do like the normal drop smokes and go into an A split, things like that. So you always have to be ready for anything. But the general idea of the rotations and how the rotations should work as of a different set of smokes is what we spoke about right here. I want to show you some live examples from professional teams, STs, what what they generally do, so you guys can see how teams play off of different smokes, and you guys can see generally how the CT stand as well. So I do want to show you guys that, so live examples from the games. Generally, we just need to understand exactly how we should play in CTs and what to expect. Because if you can expect that, you can probably also counter that. Obviously, there are more counters into like smoking the molly the smokes and creating gaps and creating presence. You can also, if you don't have any information towards outside, or your outside player dies, or your op dies somewhere, you can do a lobby crunch off of it. Like if for example we know that they're rushing downstairs with this set of smokes, right? And you can't rotate down for whatever reason, there is a molly down vent or something like that, you can do a lobby crunch, try to like get a guy or two towards lobby, and then you can retake from ramp, right? So this is another possible scenario that can happen for you guys, but generally the understanding of the smokes is that, right? What they can do with it is pretty much what we spoke about it, but as we said, it's in hybrid game, anything can change. This is an example from Navi against Big. Navi is going to do the most dangerous 3-wall smoke that we spoke about, that anything can happen with, and they generally go into an A split. So right here you would see pretty much Bit doing his own smoke, simple and electronic right here. As we spoke about, the smoke wall would basically land like this. You would see electronic just going downstairs, and he will control downstairs for a bit, then go back up and lurk outside. Boomich is right here with him. He's taking the fights towards outside. They know that Tapson is the outside player. Electronic kills him right here. Uh, Boomich is going towards Heaven, taking this gap, and you would see the team generally goes towards A. After that, basically an A split. Now I want to go back a little bit right here to when the smokes were thrown, so you can see Electronic threw a smoke right here. So we fast forward right a bit, and I want to look at their setup. All right, the CT setup. So you can see Kito is already downstairs, controlling downstairs. He rotated from that. Sirson went towards a ramp peak, so he controlled ramp for as long as he could. You have Tapson controlling outside, so they can't do an A split, and you still have two guys on A, so you have Tizian and Gate towards A. If they try to do anything towards A, pretty much the same setup we spoke about, a guy controlling downstairs. Your upper can trade your ramp guy, and then someone rotates down. Okay, so right here, same game, Big versus Navi. Now it's Big on T side. Big will do the same ball smokes that we saw Navi do the previous time. So Big will generally do those smokes, and this will be an instance where they go to a ramp split. So you would see Kiro right here going outside. Now something important to note, if we like go back a little bit, right here. Navi did molly their wall of smokes, so you would see right here their outside player smoked this smoke that's supposed to land in the middle. So right here it creates a massive gap for the CTs to gain information. So you can see Electronic having like a gap right here if he needs to use it. He decides not to. But right here, as soon as he gets the sound cue from Kito going downstairs, you would see that Boomich goes instantly downstairs to throw a smoke and contain. Now, because that happens and Electronic only hears one player, Boomich is going straight up because he just smoked and people generally won't go through that smoke. You would have Simple towards Heaven, right? So Simple has a fast rotation towards ramp. You would have Perfecto on A. You would have Bit as a fast rotation towards downstairs, and you would have Electronic outside controlling it for a split again, and you would have Boomich as well towards the door right there. So 2 on A. As we see, Simple just rotates now towards ramp because there are still 2 on A, and they made Big just made an A fake right here. So Kito again is downstairs, lurking downstairs. You'd see right here Tizian is towards A, just spamming door. Tapson is outside. Tapson will throw a mini smoke and he would go towards Hell to take the gap. And off of that A fake, they went towards ramp. So pretty much as we spoke about, they did the smoke and went into a ramp split, A fake into a ramp split. Generally, the rotation is pretty much the same. Boomich goes down, he throws that smoke, people can't run past that smoke. He knows that, he goes upstairs. Electronic only heard one sound cue, so that's basically the rotation that happened. Boomich went upstairs. Control door, you have 2 on A, Simple rotated towards ramp, too strong on ramp, they can't ramp pop. And yeah, basically they wander around Simple off of that, just, you know, informational plays. Same game, different wall smokes. So this is the faster drop wall smokes that we spoke about with the molly that distinguishes that. So you would see Tapson throwing that molly right here. The molly would land right here, and then the smoke instantly lands on top of it, right? So it creates a fast presence. So right off of this, Big are actually not going to go downstairs, and they faked it to create some chaos on the CT sides and create a rotation right here. So as you can see, they would generally walk the left side of the smokes and go for an A split. Simple is simple, and he stayed towards garage, stood his ground, and got a kill. Understood that they're not going downstairs, so that's why the rotation was about to happen. But then he went upstairs again, like kind of like the last round, only because Simple got that kill and that info that it's not a downstairs split. But as you guys can see, as soon as those smokes landed, Boom, which is already close to rotate. Obviously, Simple still controls it, so you can hear Syracuse if it's a fast downstairs rush. So as soon as Simple got info that it's not, Wunsch went upstairs, and easy as that. Again, the wind around off of information. Basically, just because Simple stood ground and understood that it might be a fake. As we spoke about, a hybrid game, anything can happen. So he sees uh, two guys right here. Yeah, he sees two guys right here. So he killed one. He sees another two guys. Uh, he dies. That's enough information for him to know that they're not going downstairs. His team cleans it up. Okay, so right here we're watching Navi against Team Vitality. Right here we're going to see another version of those triple smokes that we spoke about. So you'll see Simple does his, Perfecto does his, Electronic does his. Right here we'll see them actually walking downstairs. So you will see three guys going towards outside, generally going downstairs. You see those smokes give them enough cover. Electronic makes his presence as he's the outside lurker, but you can see two guys going right behind him. Basically getting that control, right? Taking ramp control, secret control, I'm sorry. Going towards secret, executing from secret. Meanwhile, you would see you have Perfecto towards ramp right here, lurking outside ramp, waiting for the contact downstairs, gets the ramp kill and splits downstairs, as well as Bit right here, who stayed in lobby all the time, was annoying towards door, and eventually went down vent and joined in with his team. This is a perfect example when you can also walk downstairs with those smokes and not only do a split with it. So generally you would see, let's go a little bit back right here. You would see Apex is already downstairs, controlling downstairs as we spoke about. You would see Zywo is controlling outside for that split. Hell, Heaven, pretty much the same thing. You'd see Kyojin towards A with his anchor roll. Masuda is anchor roll towards ramp. And you would see Shocks towards A right here as well. So 2A, one controlling outside, one downstairs, one ramp. Pretty much what we spoke about. Right here, Navi made a really, really good play and were just better individually and got the frags. But it's not a perfect example of how you can also walk downstairs with this set of smokes. And yeah, basically another example of how pro teams use those smokes and what are the reactions of pro teams. And it's pretty much what we spoke about, understanding the possible scenarios that can outcome out of each smoke wall and play off of it. Same game, Navi Vitality. Right here we're going to see the split smokes we spoke about. So I'm just going to hover around a bit. It's going to be an A split. One of the smokes did fail, but as you will be able to see, the plan was still right there. One of the most recent demos they had. So one of the smokes failed, but generally that's the smoke wall we spoke about. Electronic is right here ready to split. Meanwhile, his teammates are already ready to burst towards A right here. Electronic is getting the cue. Okay, now it's the time to split. They split A. Off of this, I want to go towards what the CTs do. So you would see Masuda still ramp. Kyojin heavy on A. Zywo heavy on A. Apex controls the split that haven't split. And it's basically Shocks as well towards HUD. So you have three strong on A. Zywo is mainly controlling that mini split. Apex is controlling that heaven wrap. You would have Kyojin and Chalks on A, really heavy, and Masuda controlling ramp as well, sorry. And if you need the fast rotation, Apex is right there to rotate and help Masuda on ramp. Another perfect example of how they reacted off of those split smokes. They didn't drop a guy down, they controlled the wrap, they controlled the split, and off of that, they still rushed around. They had worse guns a bit, AK's one-shot potential, but Navi played really smart. They called it round in a perfect time, but another good understanding from the CTs on how to play against that set of smokes. another example in the same game, Navi, Vitality. Now we're looking at Vitality. It's quite a short example that I want to show you guys. So you would see the triple smokes right here off the bat again. Apex would be going from outside to fast A split, and you will see his team just splits A pretty quickly. Just want to show you like a quick example of like how the T's do it in a quick way. So right here they burst it out hot, as you guys can see, and Apex was about to go from mini right there. Just like a short example I wanted you guys to see, because I think it's also valuable that you guys can understand the faster paced style as well. Okay, so right here we're watching Dignitas versus Mouse and ZXD, the Academy team. Right here we'll see Dignitas generally do the split smokes we spoke about, and they're going to do a split off of it as we spoke about, right? You would see four guys, sorry, towards outside and one guy towards lobby. Those guys would go towards a heaven wrap right here. So they take control of the garage smoke, wait for it to fade, get a flash deep in CT, peek with this flash, and generally split. Now we can see the understanding out of the CTs. Right here, it was pretty much like a right off the bat thing that the guy rotated instantly towards downstairs. So like out of the smokes, he rotated downstairs. He controls the outside pretty much, right? Then you would see JDC is in ramp. You see Torres is controlling. This is pretty much the perfect op spot for those smokes. So you see he controls the smokes. He sees they faded. He sees no one outside right now. He will pick into garage in a second. He will get a kill right here. Let's fast forward a bit. Right here, he spots them, gets a kill, knows that it's a split. Off of this, his players right here focusing towards mini, focusing towards ramp in case anyone pushes ramp because it's a heaven wrap, and the guy in secret will take contact, die, but yeah. Basically another example of those split smokes into a heaven wrap, as we spoke about. Those smokes generally don't mean they mean that no one will go downstairs, and you guys can see how teams play against that. But generally, we saw two examples as of now on how teams do those smokes and actually split with them and never go downstairs. So that's what you can expect, and the perfect rotations is what we spoke earlier in the video. Right here, it's a bit of a different rotational play, but I mean how Vitality played that in the last example was perfect. So right here, another example of the split smokes. Okay, so right here, we're at the same game, Mouse, Dig. We can see an example of the regular drop smokes off of contact. So they would set up right here for the smokes from a closer angle. You would see Exertion is getting the contact right here. He's getting close, waiting for the contact. Got a kill. Got traded. I'm sorry. As soon as he got traded, those smokes left their hands. And as you can see, smokes are right here. Smokes failed a bit, but they meant to go downstairs right off of the smoke wall. So basically, pretty much what we spoke about. Contact play into those smoke walls and going downstairs. As you guys can see, no one really was towards lobby, and they were focused heavy on going downstairs. Okay, so right here we're in another Mouse and ZXT game versus Gorillas right here. This is an example of a late drop smoke, the regular smokes we spoke about. So you will see them generally do the smokes a bit later at around 140, 135, and off of those smoke walls they try to like create some sort of a rotation out of the CTs, and right here they end up going towards ramp. So generally that's kind of like what they try to accomplish with that. So they did the smokes. You guys can see they're going 3 towards lobby right here, 4, I'm sorry. And then you would see Exertion going downstairs, trying to create a presence with the smokes, dies, unfortunately, but the plan was to go towards ramp. As you guys can see, they're heavy 3 towards ramp. As of now, they do end up following through with the plan, even though their door player and their outside player died. They end up winning their own, sticking to the plan. But basically, the plan was to get one downstairs, get a guy from door to drop down vent, and do a ramp pop off of this. So you guys can see that the perfect rotation was played by the CTs. JW started around early on Secret to try to control Secret right here. So you go Secret with his op, kills Xertion right here. So he still controls downstairs with those smokes. Out of this, you have Supra still in A. You have Sergej right here, still towards ramp. Flash outside, Tani towards A. Pretty much what we spoke about when those smokes happen. One guy downstairs, 2 guys strong in A, 1 controlling outside towards heaven side for a fast rotation, and 1 ramp. So we can see the Gorillas played it really well. Unfortunately, the individual play kind of lost them the round because the individual Mouse and 16 in this round was a bit better and they got the kills and the trades. But the plan was there, and as we spoke about, those late drop smokes are usually fakes. And as you could see, with this kill from Flasha, it was pretty from JW, sorry. Uh, it was pretty obvious that it's a fake. Okay, so the last example I have right here is a perfect example of the drop smokes used pretty early. So you can see JW and Super right here. They're throwing those drop smokes. Meanwhile, there is another early smoke from Flash right here. Doing the molly as well, in case anyone is like behind red. And then they just pretty much rush downstairs. Again, the rotations you would generally want to have is one guy going downstairs. But as you see, nobody really went downstairs here. Sushi was a bit too late, but he had mollied. He was mollied downstairs. He did use his molly, so he still contained it. So right here, the rotation is good. We can see one is controlling downstairs, one is controlling heaven, fast rotation towards ramp, 1A, and another one anchoring A. Then you have the ramp player. Pretty much the same rotation we spoke about. And yeah, perfectly played by Mouse and ZXT. They end up losing the round to a fast rush and an overwhelming eco round from Gorillas. But generally, the ideas is still the same of the rotations and how you play against that, and how you can use the smokes as well. Pretty much my outcome of this video is trying to help you guys understand the concept of those smokes that we spoke about better, understanding how you can play against it, how you can play with it, and maybe even you guys can form some sort of an evil plan and have even like a new way that you can use those smokes and a surprising way in your games. If you ever do, please tag me in it. I would love to see that. I hope that my video helped you guys understand a bit further than you did right at this moment. My intentions are to kind of pass the knowledge that I have as of now to you guys and try to like have a bit of a better understanding on what I can help you with. I hope you guys really enjoyed the content. As I said, I'm trying to put as much as I can right now. We have a break as well, so I'm trying to work as much as I can in the break. Even after the break, I'll try to put like a video a week or something like that, maybe two. But yeah, I mean, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the support out of the last video. I hope it helps you guys a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.